Little Red Riding Hood. In a faraway wood there lived a kind girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She was taking a basket of food to her sick granny. Remember to go straight to Granny's house, says Little Red Riding Hood's mother. Don't stray off the path and don't talk to any strangers. Little Red Riding Hood set off to see Granny. Little Red Riding Hood followed the path through the woods. She hummed a little tune as she swung her basket. She saw lots of pretty blue flowers, but she didn't see the wolf hiding in the trees. Little Red Riding Hood stopped to look at the flowers. Hello, little girl, said the big bad wolf.
Hello.
What are you doing? Little Red Riding Hood jumped with fright. I'm going to see my little sick granny, who lives in the little house in the wood, she said. What a kind girl you are, said the wolf. I'm sure your granny will like these pretty blue flowers. Why don't you stay and pick some for her? He smiled, showing his big white teeth. The big bad wolf ran off into the woods. While Little Red Riding Hood stayed to pick some blue flowers, the big bad wolf ran all the way to Granny's house and gobbled her up. He put on Granny's cap and glasses. The big bad wolf got into Granny's bed. Soon afterwards, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at Granny's house. The door was wide open. Little Red Riding Hood walked in. Are you in bed, Granny? She called. Little Red Riding Hood went into the bedroom. She walked up to the bed. Granny didn't look very well. Oh, Granny, Little Red Riding Hood said, what big ears you have. All the better to hear you with, my dear, said the wolf in a granny voice. Granny had very big ears. Oh, Granny, said Little Red Riding Hood, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, my dear, said the wolf in his granny voice. Little Red Riding Hood thought Granny looked odd. Oh, Granny, said Little Red Riding Hood, what big teeth you have. All the better to eat you with, growled the wolf. He opened his mouth wide and leaped at Little Red Riding Hood. The big bad wolf ate Little Red Riding Hood. Luckily, a woodcutter was passing Granny's cottage. He went inside to visit Granny and found the big bad wolf taking a nap. The woodcutter turned the wolf upside down and gave him a good shake. Out came Granny and Little Red Riding Hood. Granny, Little Red Riding Hood, and the woodcutter all chased the big bad wolf. The big bad wolf ran away, and they never saw him again.